You're born with a gift that doesn't need explanation. It's clear from the moment you can run. You're a little faster than your friends at recess. However, as you grow up, the gap widens, and suddenly your speed is too obvious to ignore. Your parents notice, strangers start to notice, and eventually someone pulls your parents aside and says, "Your kid needs to play youth football." So your parents sign you up, and now you're introduced to coaching, men who learn how to mold raw talent. And when it comes to raw talent, coaches are dissecting one thing: elite athleticism. When they see you run, they know you got that one thing they can't teach, and that's speed. When kids start youth football, they usually try multiple positions. First, they try quarterback, because honestly, every kid wants to be a play caller. However, it will become pretty clear whether or not quarterbacking is your thing. So your coaches put you at running back, and it feels good. There's space to run, holes to hit. You finally get to use your speed in a way that makes sense. But then a problem arises. You're boxed in. Every play is a grind. It's crowded. There's contact and chaos. You can't just open up and fly. So one day, they place you at wide receiver. You burst off the line, blow past your defender, catch the ball in stride, and everything clicks. You were made for this. Now the world thinks playing receiver is simple. You take a few steps, make a sharp cut, catch the ball, and celebrate in the end zone. That's what you thought too, because it's how it looks on TV. It's how it feels on Madden. But it's nothing like that. And you're about to find out what it's really like. By the time you arrive in high school, everything gets real. As a freshman, you're the new kid on the block. If you're really built for this, coaches notice. You might not start right away, but they'll focus on preparing you when the time comes. Sophomore year, now you're getting real minutes. Junior year, you're the guy, the go-to receiver, and with that comes the spotlight. More contact, harder hits, sharper elbows, tighter coverage. It's the first taste of physical toll, and yet it doesn't rattle you. You own it. You thrive in it. Your visual resume starts to form. Highlight reels, slow motion touchdowns, ankle breaking cuts, and toe taps by the sideline. You're posted. The internet does its thing. College coaches are noticing. Suddenly, you've got stars next to your name. 3-star, 4-star, maybe even 5. The letters pile up. It's no longer a dream, it's a shot. Whether it's D1, D2, or D3, you made it through the gauntlet. You finally made your college decision, and now you realize college is faster, tougher. You're either redshirting to develop or fighting for reps right away. Learning advanced coverages, building time with a quarterback you just met, studying route trees to ask you to read leverage, adjust mid-route, and manipulate safeties. You're no longer just relying on your speed. You're not just trying to be good anymore. You're chasing the NFL. Yes, this grind is brutal, but you're built for it. Then something hits you. You've always been that guy, but now you're surrounded by nothing but that guy. On this stage, everyone was the hometown hero, and you quickly realize you're not the best anymore. You're just good enough. So there's more work to do. With that, you double down. You grind harder. You earn your spot. You're the starting receiver putting up solid numbers, nothing crazy, but respectable, reliable. You've done everything you could, made plays, and showed up during crucial downs. So when your final year wraps up, there's only one thing left to do. You declare for the draft. Now analysts start dissecting your game for the world to see. He's fast, but his route running might not translate to Sundays. He's got good hands, but struggles against press coverage. You read the takes. Some are fair, some make you want to punch a wall. However, this is how it works. This is the process. Draft night hits. You watch as teammates and rivals go top 10. The clock keeps ticking, but you haven't been selected. The first round passes you by, and so does the second. Doubt tries to creep in. Then all of a sudden, your phone rings. You answer, and just like that, you hear the words you've been dreaming about your whole life. You're going to the NFL. Third round, doesn't matter. You made it. You're officially in the league. Now, it's time to prove you belong. Having speed, great hands, and body control seems like it should easily carry over, especially in a league focusing more on the passing game. However, the receiver position requires a lot of adjustments. In college, you got by on raw talent. You beat DBs with speed, size, and natural instincts. You ran bubble screens, slants, maybe the occasional post. Jump balls, you live for those. But once you step into an NFL training camp, it's like switching to a different sport. By the time the season starts, it became painfully clear you're not wide receiver one. You're not even close. Yet. In this league, corners aren't just fast, they're craftsmen. Press coverage, that's their playground. They jam you at the line with perfect hand placement, mirror your every move, and play through the ball like it's theirs. You can't just out-athlete guys like this. Not anymore. In the NFL, it's about creating space at the right time. It's not just about beating your man. It's about beating him within the structure of the play. NFL corners strive to ruin that structure. They'll disrupt your route before it starts, throwing off the timing and blowing up the route. NFL corners test your balance, your discipline, and your patience on every route. That's just the physical part. Mentally, the challenge altogether is different. You must master side adjustments, read the defense mid-route, and make split-second decisions. A corner bailing means sitting in the zone. A safety rotating down means cutting it short. Your routes have to be crisp. Every break has to be precisely synced to the quarterback's clock. If you're even a fraction off, you're invisible to the QB. The quarterback isn't throwing it unless he knows you'll be where you're supposed to be. Timing is religion in the NFL. That tiny window when the quarterback releases the ball, that's when you have to be open. Not before, not after. Because if your QB is someone like Peyton Manning or Aaron Rodgers, they're not guessing. They operate on certainty. The receiver who makes the exact cut at 7 yards, not 6 or 8. The receiver who taps both toes just inside the boundary and makes the tough catch, that's the standard. As a rookie receiver, you learn quickly. This isn't about potential anymore. It's about execution. It isn't about immediate production. Even the NFL is patient with receiver prospects. Knowing the position takes time to learn, but it is about immediate improvement. A receiver who isn't getting better from day one will soon find himself out. Doesn't matter what you did in college, doesn't matter how many highlight reels you had, the NFL doesn't care. You're just another name on the depth chart. If you can't win now, someone younger and cheaper behind you can. That's when things start to unravel. You begin to see what it takes to be a great receiver in the pros. Being able to play wide receiver in the NFL, you must have a combination of physical traits. Speed, body control, and agility are essential. The primary skill is the ability to adjust. Anyone can run a 12-yard pass route against air and turn around. The real challenge is facing a defender who's one of the best athletes on the field while using bump and run coverage. Strength is just as important. It helps you get off the line when a defensive back tries to jam you. It's crucial when fighting for position downfield and battling for the ball. Strength also helps going up for jump balls. It's very necessary to endure the pounding and rigors of a long season. Players who have been productive for a long time, like Jerry Rice and Terrell Owens, combine conditioning with high levels of strength. Except, you're not them. Far from it. Speed and acceleration matter, but it's different here. You see players who wouldn't beat you in a 40-yard dash at a track meet, but still break away with the ball in open space and never get caught. This competitive speed, or functional speed, is what really counts on the football field. Jerry Rice is famous for not running a blazing 40-yard dash, but is still the most productive receiver in NFL history. Even late in his career, Rice will catch the ball in the open field and outrun most defensive backs. His incredible competitive speed came from not just running fast, but knowing where to run within the play. This kind of football IQ separates real pros from everyone else. It's all about consistently hauling in those short to intermediate passes over the middle while taking brutal hits from linebackers and safeties. One dropped catch might be forgiven, but too many, and you're suddenly out of the picture. Talk too much, and you get labeled a diva. Stay silent, and you're not seen as a leader. The mental toughness needed to survive and thrive as a wide receiver is on a whole different level. The job is inherently lonely. You line up on the edge, locked in battle with your defender, running full speed for 10, 20, or 30 yards, hoping the quarterback sees you in the brief moment before he fires the ball. You don't control your fate out there. No other position depends so much on the rest of the team clicking perfectly, and dealing with that lack of control is one of the toughest parts of being a receiver. Super Bowl champion Devontae Smith, the Eagles' standout receiver, said, "At receiver, I don't think people really understand how hard it is to be a receiver. So much has to go right for you to get the ball. You gotta go with the snap, O-line gotta block, quarterback gotta make the right read, running back gotta pick up blocks. We're the last resort. For us to even get a chance, so much other stuff gotta go right. Just know when the ball comes out, you gotta make the play. You never know when it's gonna come again." And so you can see why wide receivers get so frustrated. And if they're not careful, that frustration can spill over. Super Bowl champion Keyshawn Johnson, who wrote an autobiography called Just Give Me the Damn Ball, was once seen yelling at his coach John Gruden during a Monday Night Football game after being pulled off the field for lining up wrong. Sure, every position has some frustrations, but wide receivers have way more attitude problems than most. Why? Because they're judged by how many passes they catch. But sometimes you don't even get the opportunities. And if your starting QB gets hurt, now you're working with a backup who doesn't have your timing yet. Your stats drop, and your game suffers. How could you not be frustrated? But with that being said, looking at the most dominant wide receivers in football, the disruption they cause to the defense is clear. An elite receiver stretches the field, shifts coverages, and forces the defense to adjust to every play. They draw double teams, pull safeties out of the box, and threaten to break the game open at any moment. Offensive coordinators love them. Having that kind of weapon opens up the playbook. Defenders must decide whether to shift coverage, sacrifice the defender to help over the top, or have safeties play deeper. Just having a receiver like that creates problems for the defense, and problems for the defense creates opportunities for the offense. That's the paradox of being a wide receiver. A receiver can be the most feared weapon on the field, or spend time being a decoy, while the running game wears down the defense. Receivers can get open all game, but if the quarterback doesn't throw your way or can't deliver a pass, opposing teams know this. Receivers can help you win games, but you are replaceable. Maybe not right away, but eventually. If you're not redefining the position, breaking coverages, and breaking records, then you're just another piece in the system. A valuable piece, yes, but just a piece. And then there's the part no one likes to mention, the hazards of the job, injuries. Receivers struggle to perform with injury. Quarterbacks can throw with a bad ankle. Linemen can push through a broken finger. However, receivers rely on their entire body functioning at peak condition. One small tweak, and their effectiveness drops dramatically. Yes, every NFL player deals with injuries. That's part of the game. But wide receivers face a unique type of occupational hazard, and it's only growing. As of the start of the 2024-25 season, a staggering number of wide receivers were already ruled out for the year. Meanwhile, running backs, long considered the most injury-prone, didn't experience nearly the same numbers of season-ending injuries. This isn't random. It comes down to how wide receivers play the game. They spend every snap running full speed, making violent cuts, jumping for catches, and landing hard, all while defenders are doing anything they can to stop them. And that brings a different kind of risk. As Jeremy Clarkson once said, speed has never killed anyone. Suddenly becoming stationary, that's what gets you. The NFL defenders are trained to do just that, to stop you cold by any means necessary. That's where injuries come in. Hamstring strains top the list. The explosive sprints and sudden stops that defines a receiver's game puts massive strain on the legs. Then there are ankle sprains, a constant threat when making tight cuts or absorbing hits after catches. Torn ACLs are another brutal reality caused by abrupt changes in direction, bad landings, or twisted knees in traffic. And it doesn't stop there. Shoulder dislocations come from diving for balls or absorbing mid-air contact. A sprain of ligaments around the big toe creeps in from constant push-offs and hard stops. Rib fractures from hits across the middle. Concussions from helmet-to-helmet collisions. It's a gauntlet. The crazy part is that some injuries are bad. Some are career-ending. Take Johnny Knox, for example. Former Bears wideout. Knox tried to recover a fumble against the Seahawks in 2021 and collided with Anthony Hargrove. Knox's back bent the wrong way. He was diagnosed with a cracked spine, 14 months later, the Bears cut him. The next day, he retired. In 1978, during a preseason game between the Raiders and the Patriots, New England receiver Darren Stingley experienced a violent collision with Raiders safety Jack Tatum that left Stingley with a compressed spinal cord and a broken vertebrae. He remained a quadriplegic for the rest of his life, passing away in 2007 at the age of 55. Even in the modern era, the risks haven't gone away. In a 2023 preseason game, Daewood Davis, a rookie wideout for the Miami Dolphins, laid motionless on the field after a brutal hit from a Jacksonville Jaguars linebacker. Davis was rushed to the hospital, later placed in concussion protocol, and then waived with an injury settlement. These are constant reminders of the brutal truth that wide receivers put their bodies and sometimes their lives on the line every time they step onto the field. Most wide receivers peak between ages 24 and 30. That's when the league sees you as valuable, explosive, worth the money. After that, you're seen as declining. Teams start wondering if you're still worth the contract. And unless you're a true outlier who aged like fine wine, you're probably not lasting deep into your 30s as a top target. It doesn't matter if you have multiple all-pro seasons, the most reliable hands in football. There's no loyalty, just business. So yes, the wide receiver position looks flashy. The catches, touchdowns, the highlights, and the recognition. However, behind the scenes, it's a constant battle to stay relevant. As soon as you start slowing down, your replacement is already waiting. It's a job where the glory is loud but short. The pain is quiet. Once you're no longer useful, you're out. The truth stares at you, and that's why it sucks being a wide receiver. If you like this video, hit that button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a post. Thanks for watching.